TOD.
No, what does that
Oh,
mean? Toad. Toad.
oat.
TOD.
I don't think you don't do it yet, if you don't mind. Just make sure
It's
you
on.
get the
It's
odor.
on.
Okay.
No, what does that mean?
Oh, okay. We are streaming live. I'm Mark Saffin. Welcome. This is Art Matters New York, and we're here to talk about art that we've seen and art that we produce. I'm here with Hans Vici,
Hi, everyone.
Marie Krivakis, and Barbara Lowenstein, and Leslie Adler. Hello, all, and welcome. Um, we have Barbara. You sent some work. I think was that from Manhattan? Was that sculpture?
Actually, I got it from the computer, but these are
Oh,
things that were in Manhattan.
Mhm.
I happened to hear something on NPR about
oh,
Rose B. Simpson, and I,
cool. Let's
but
maybe I'll put up one of a piece.
Mhm.
Okay.
yeah, I got curious about her work, so I took a dive into what I could find online, and I found it really interesting work.
Mhm.
Ah, what's going on here?
Nice.
Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, don't want that. How do I get rid of that? Oh, I can do that.
Just
Okay.
don't worry.
Let me go here.
I think most of the images that I have there are from Madison Square Park, but she also has some at Inwood Hill Park.
Oh, wow.
This is not that.
No, that's not it. We're gonna look at some of that later. Let's uh,
Who is that?
that I don't know. I mean, I'll tell you the name when we get there. I'm not sure.
Okie doke. Okie doke.
Yeah.
Ah,
Here.
okay, here we are. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
So this looks like it's in Madison Park, I guess. Is that
Yes,
Madison
Madison
Park?
Square Park.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
She is a Pueblo, New Mexican Pueblo artist
Oh,
Mhm.
who
okay.
uh, uses mediums or media for her work, but uh, she's primarily a sculptor. Um,
Mhm.
I was drawn to these pieces though because I thought they. Okay, so these are obviously figures that are blindfolded, and this is a figure emerging from the earth. She's very interested in the past and the present, and uh, she's a she's very optimistic about people coming together to have a better future for the earth, and and she combines that with an indigenous view. But I was so interested in this because I thought it was so graphic for sculpture. It just struck me as being so linear, but
Mhm.
you'll see that more in some of the other pieces, I think, than
Yeah,
this one.
let's go through this in a little bit.
What?
Okay.
Isn't
Nice.
that cool?
Mhm. Yeah.
This is sort of yeah, I mean it's flat, it's graphic. You know, I
Yeah.
mean she's putting them in the round. I mean, I know they're totemic. They
Yes, that's
come,
the word.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's
Yeah.
a silhouette in a way.
what's
A
the
what?
word?
Silhouette.
Yeah,
It's silhouette.
silhouette.
Yes.
It sort of
Yes.
creeps into the David Smith territory and
Mm,
things that he had done,
the
which were
flat.
sculptural and flat. You know, he was
Yeah.
using, you know, so I see some of that, you know, in that sort of mid-century, I guess, whatever, 50s, 60s. Um, you know, with the
Mm,
use of steel, of course. Uh,
hmm Yeah,
So that comes right out of,
yeah.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I like that. That's beautiful.
Isn't that terrific? Yeah. This is a section of a piece because I was not interested in capturing the whole thing. The the references that she has to her people. I mean, I understand the importance of it to her, but to me, I was just looking at this from a purely
Yeah, yeah.
graphic standpoint. So I segmented this and then wound up printing it. But of course, it's, I think this might be, no, this isn't from Hyperallergic. But these things don't print very well because they've already been printed a number of times.
Right.
Yeah.
It's almost Persian.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Nice.
does look ancient, doesn't it?
Mhm. It's nice.
Mm.
Mhm.
What's her name again? Can you please tell me her name?
Rose B. Simpson.
And how old is she? Has she been around for a while?
Yeah.
Just on the radar?
Been around a while.
Just don't know
She's
about
had
her?
new shows. I think she's in her 50s or her 60s. Let me
And is
see.
she working in the West, like in New Mexico or Arizona, or where
No,
is she?
she's very mainstream now, actually.
Oh,
Yeah. She's,
Barbara, you said they are blindfolded, but they have
yes.
still, I mean, they look more like masks than blindfolded to me.
Yeah, they do look like masks. But I think masks having the blindfold effect, but maybe not. I don't know. I don't know which they are. But I just mainly I just copied this because I just love the arrangement. And
Yeah.
the softness of the image kind of adds another
Mhm.
way of looking at it. They're so
Right.
hard edged, but here they are very soft and fuzzy and fitting into the setting.
Mhm. Mhm.
I like your photos too, Barbara.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, look at that one. Isn't that great? Look at that. It's in the round.
Yeah, it's mhm. Mhm.
She was born in 83,
oh my God.
Yeah,
so she's a younger.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Surprising. You know, it's interesting that this has so much to do with the artist and the totemic pieces and sculpture that we were looking at. Uma Baba, the Pakistani.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Remember? Like just 2 sessions ago, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, it's somehow very consistent that sculpture has moved into this domain of, more narrative, more figurative, even though this has the elements of abstraction, more
Yes.
referential to historical precedent, iconic, you know,
Yes.
work, whatever, these big
Mhm.
forms, somewhat,
Yeah. Yeah.
the
But it's
human
kind of
element.
parallel
of the
with
sorry?
painting. I'm sorry, what?
And yeah, and in painting as well.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
And talking about traditions, and various, this case, in this case, is she American Indian?
Yeah. She's Pueblo.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot the name of the. I think it was Tika Pueblo, Teca or Teva Pueblo.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what we're interested in now,
Yeah.
in a manner of speaking.
Tewa, she is a Tewa sculptor, TEWA, mixed
Wow.
media artist, she calls herself.
Yeah, they have something traditional, but still also something. Yeah.
Yeah, she's educated at various places, starting with the Institute of American Indian Arts and Northern New Mexico College.
Mhm.
Let's see if I can find her. It's so it's a Tua sculpture from the Santa Clara Pueblo. Her primary medium is ceramic, and mixed media. This is relatively recent that she's been using steel.
I see.
But she's also very mainstream. She has an MFA from the Rhode Island School of Design.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Look at that one. Isn't that neat?
I love
Yeah,
it.
I like the way they hang in the trees and the branches. It's great.
Yeah. That's
It's
because
an
I cropped
illusion.
it. I cropped the bottom.
Yeah, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And how that further abstracts the forms.
Yes.
I
So,
mean, for me, coming from where I come from,
yeah.
this in a way is even more interesting. You know what I mean? The way
Ditto.
you just see.
Absolutely, Mark. This is how I felt looking at these, that I really wanted to capture these abstract angular forms. And I think
Yeah.
that they lend themselves to something graphic.
Well, it's there. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's in the work.
Yeah.
And coming from where we come from, in other words, our generation and how we're trained or whatever, conditioned, or how we like to look at
Mm-hmm.
art,
Mm.
it's like we want to further abstract it in some way. We don't want it to have such,
Mm.
I don't want to say literal meaning, but the kind of narrative, the kind of narratives that are, we see so much of today. We're all,
Exactly. Thank you
yeah,
for verbalizing that. That is exactly where I was coming from and
yeah,
why I cropped a lot of these images so that you don't see the figure in the ground very much. You don't see the
I,
blindfold or masked figures because I really just like these forms and I really think
but
they're,
on the other hand, art in a way has moved in that direction because of the preponderance of abstraction of 20th century art, and and to the exclusion of personal stories and uh, stories that are specific to nationalities or tribes or etc. Those
yeah.
kind of
So it's
narratives.
a
So
pendulum, sort of.
yeah, so it's pendular. It changes. Like
Yeah.
works are now personal, and they're more, there's more literal. They're more literal, and so, like, for example, perfect example. I was reading an interview with Richard Serra last night. An extended interview. It's a book by Hal Foster, and Sarah was, saying that he doesn't want his work to be graphic or to be pictures. In other words, he wants them to be experiential, right? So you are experiencing space, which is the domain of sculpture. He
Exactly.
doesn't want it to be a picture in your mind. He's completely working opposite of that.
Yeah.
You
That's a very
get out
modern.
of your mind, get out of the picture, and actually experience what space is. And
Right.
this form in space is
Right.
going to help you do that,
Mhm.
experience space.
That's a
So
very modernist position.
very modernist, very modernist. So that's the difference. That's the difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where we were and what the 20th century, you know, was about,
Yeah.
more some in some regard. And this is
I
where
have
it's,
yeah, it's an interesting point that you bring up, and it's kind of an interesting discussion. And it's kind of fascinating how Barbara is doing an interpretation, or doing what we all do, I guess, some way. You're cropping off what you like about a work to
Right,
make
which is,
more
I
interesting.
suppose that doesn't do it justice, because I'm
I don't know.
looking
It's
at-
so interesting that you're doing that. And
yeah.
I think,
I wonder what the artist would say. Would she
I
not
don't think she,
care?
I don't think she would like it. I think she would
Oh, no?
really want us to experience it as a reflection of what she meant, of indigenous peoples, of the hope for harmony in the world.
But you
Uh,
know,
I think any artist understands that there's multiple readings of artwork.
Yeah.
Like even last night, again, in the interview with Sarah, Hal Foster was bringing up, psychological interpretations of work. Like, Sarah's work has been um,
mm,
critiqued as being threatening, right? Because it's these big pieces of steel, sometimes they're on the ceiling, they're leaning against the walls, et cetera, et cetera.
oh,
And Sarah was saying, well, I'm of this school where we don't do that. We don't talk about the psychological, where they came from, or their implications. We just don't do that. He said, but I'm not saying that it doesn't exist either.
ah,
So he's
Right.
leaving himself open for, any kind of projection, you know, uh,
mm,
any kind of interpretation. He's leaving himself open, but he's saying that's not where I'm coming from. I'm only thinking about the form, about the pure form, about the
yeah.
elements, about the concrete issues of making
Right,
sculpture.
right. But let's go to this work here. For me, it's very much clear. I would call it very traditional,
Yeah.
Meaning it comes directly out of a cultural consciousness. It becomes, you say, graphic, of course. You could almost say that these things are designed first, let's say, a drawing made or whatever, and then you take steel and put it together. It doesn't come out of a process which has to do with the material itself and see how pieces go together and suddenly something happens. This is very designed. It has clearly taught them thing, religious
Mm.
things, everything is in there. Not, I have nothing against that, but it's very traditional for me. It's
I-
not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it, it's very pleasing. I mean, I have
It
nothing.
is.
I find this, as you said, these blindfolds a little bit strange, which are actually reminds me more on Venice, when you put the thing on the
Yeah. The mask.
masks and not blind. I don't see anything blindfolded here, or that would be really disturbing if that would be blindfolded. Then it's like, then I think about torture and this thing. But here I don't think about torture. I
But
think
But
about
maybe she
the
wants us
mask,
to do that, though.
you know.
Because Native Indians were tortured.
No, of course, but I don't see the blindfold, since I see two eyes, the two holes which
Oh,
are the
Mm.
eyes. I don't. For me, that's not a
Yeah.
blindfold.
The mask.
Blindfold
The
is
mask.
when you don't
Gotcha.
see eyes. That's for me a blindfold. And not
gotcha.
when you see eyes.
That's
Right.
interesting.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that, but it's
Yeah.
fine. I mean, it's a nice
Mm.
element, but I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
I don't
Gotcha.
see a blindfold. I see.
No.
And then what's strange is in this one, for example, is the juxtaposition of these abstracted, steel pieces that are, come out of, 20th century art, and then this very naturalistic figure emerging from the center there,
Yeah.
which is, which is, what's more, naturalistic. What can you say?
Right. Yeah.
That juxtaposition is kind of interesting and strange, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure what
I agree. It doesn't,
that
but
means.
I think an indication of her need for meaning, her search for meaning, not our looking at it from from an art perspective per se.
Mhm.
But I wonder if these the kind of the steel 20th century thing that have these masks on.
Mm.
And I wonder if she's making some sort of comment about
But I mean,
about
he probably does. Where we have to investigate that. But for me, it's more, let's say, a cycle of the sun, or I don't. I see like radiation of warmth. That's nice.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
and then this woman or human being. It's a woman probably. In the middle, and
Yes.
and you are, it's very cosmic. I get the cosmic feeling, a nice
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
thing going on. I don't see bad things here.
No. No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like I don't know, the cycle of the sun, or I don't know what.
I think I really think there's like a contrast, like these, not blindfolds, but these masks. I think she's showing where people are stuck, but that there is, if we all, this is so literal minded, but I read something about this, but that if we all come together, there is a chance of emerging afresh, like the figure in the center.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds very literal and hokey, but I think I read something like this in one of the articles.
It could be warriors, which protect that woman in the middle against
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
things, or I don't know. So it's very, for me, very narrative in a way,
it's narrative. It's narrative.
which I don't understand actually exactly what it is, but it's not. I can many stories put into that piece,
Yes.
which is nice. That's like
Yeah.
how we dream, and that's maybe exactly a little bit the difference to Richard Serra, which I don't know if he ever dreamed or dreamt, or how he just
Yeah,
cut the dreams off of something. You can do that.
that's funny.
No, that's the minimal way of art. It has
Yeah,
nothing to do with my psyche.
Right.
exactly.
And
Yeah, and this has everything to
thing,
do.
and that's a position you can have.
Yes.
But I
Yes.
mean, Richard Serra had also to do with the body, because he was studying. He was growing up in a shipyard, and the ship, is heavy, but you can float it on because the air and the shape, everything makes even 100 tons floating, and that has something to do with body feeling and blah blah blah. And
Right.
so,
Exactly.
so there is a lot. Of course, you can say, "Oh, it has nothing to do with."
Can I say something?
Of course.
Hans, you froze. Oh,
Okay,
there you are. Okay.
you know,
Leslie, what were you? Sorry.
is unstable. My connection is unstable.
Leslie, what were you saying?
I mean, there's so much to talk about with this piece. And it's very interesting. I mean, it is very narrative, it's very cultural, very graphic, like you say, very 20th century influenced. And I almost see those, I see those as masks as well. And I see them as part of the cultural aspect of it, as well as maybe maybe a focus, some kind of focus. And I think that she, she also is about protecting the earth. And I almost see that woman.
Yes.
I almost see this woman in the middle as possibly like Mother Nature, and there's the greenery in the middle, and
Yeah.
the sundial aspect. And I can see, like, it's interesting because the picture you took in the woods, I mean, that's very appealing to me as well, and almost pushes some of her conceptual ideas a little further than this does.
Ah,
I think this is more focused on her cultural narrative and her
mm,
indigenous experience. I mean, to me, they're just like 20th century totem poles. And I totally agree with Hans. They're very designed. They're not like intuitive as she's making. They're being created. They look very planned out.
oh,
But
yes.
um, uh, and I guess these are painted. I'm guessing in some way.
To me, they look just like oxidized steel,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they look
Yeah.
with
rusty.
the exception of the mask.
Yeah, they look oxidized, but I'm not, they're so even though. It's like
Mhm.
I'm not
Well,
sure.
they do it chemically, they
Oh,
spray
okay.
it, and you can do
Oh,
that. You can
Oh,
get
okay.
that effect.
That
yeah.
effect. Yeah.
Mm,
And the circle is such a strong form and such a, very strong iconography and how they're placed. This is an interesting picture also because you have the buildings in the background.
yes.
Right.
So you have the shape of the trees, the shape of the buildings, the shape of the totems.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's interesting contrast, and
Probably be
You know,
very
I
interesting
don't
to be there, to walk through it.
I think,
I
Leslie,
don't see anything negative about it though.
I don't either, but I do see, and I do agree with you, what you say, is that in this work and in work like it, the narrative takes precedence over the, I would say, intuitive, which was the word that you used, that you didn't see a lot of, and that's also, which is what Hans was saying,
Yeah.
that the the there's not an intuitive process involved in the actual making and of the of using the elements, using the
Right.
steel, putting steel together. It's really more literal.
Yeah.
And so if there's any critique at all, for me, it's how the narrative has, and this is true generally in work today, how the narrative has now become primary.
No,
You
this might also be influenced by her age. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I find I don't know. I feel like I don't know if this is, I don't want to make any sweeping generalizations
right,
or
right,
ageisms or
right.
anything, but there's so much literal influence today for
Yeah,
young people. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Um,
yeah,
because there's so much input and electronics and doing, not being, and it's just that's I can see that influence. If I can see this as a younger artist sort of piece in that way. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
mm,
yeah.
yeah.
I just think it's slightly just the fact that she's, an indigenous,
Mm,
uh, indigenous, um, and how, works, now have sort of, entered a new domain of personal meanings of narrative, and that's um, it's just a new area that is being explored. I mean, it's not new, but it's recent,
yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
and because it was subordinated in the last many years, the
Yeah.
last many
Mhm.
years.
Yeah.
So that's become the content and the subject of
Yeah.
works today.
But I
interesting.
think especially because it is an outdoor piece
Mhm.
that becomes part of its impact more than if it were entirely abstract or non-representational. Um,
Oh, that's something else. Sorry.
that's
But
okay.
you're going to find that it's very consistent with what we're just talking about.
But
Yeah.
that looks like a personal story.
Well, that's the point. That is the point. So we can go into these other works. Do you want to move on?
Yeah, I thought that was a
Yeah.
great discussion, though. I was really interested to hear what everybody thought.
So these other works, I just took them from a gallery that I happened to get an email, and it looked interesting enough, and there were enough pieces to kind of look into it as just a barometer, as a kind of an indication of where we
Mm.
are. And it's very similar to this. And this is from the gallery PPOW. Lawrence, you know that gallery,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Which has been around a long time and is sort
Right.
of,
Right.
know, yeah.
Right.
So it was, I don't know, I don't even know what the point was, but there was a whole bunch of works. And so
Mm.
let's see if I can, there we go. There's a bunch of them. So
I
this,
like
I don't know why this keeps hopping up to.
Mhm.
This
So
looks like collage type of thing.
I think, yeah, I mean, there are some collage, it looks like collage elements.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
get bigger.
Mm.
No. Oh, strange. Okay. These aren't going one way or the other.
What medium is that?
Yeah.
So you know what? I think here, let me go back in my phone.
Let's zoom in a little bit. You have
Yeah, I can't. That's the problem. I've been trying.
really, if you go to the plus sign there.
Yeah,
Can you do
yeah.
that? Try what's
There
happening.
we go.
Show me.
Ah.
Now we see.
Mm.
Yeah, too much is too much. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think it's all painted.
I
And
see.
yeah, I mean it's not
Mm.
yeah,
Mm.
Yeah.
but so I'm gonna just go into my phone here a second.
Mm.
So this guy, this is their solo exhibition right now, and his name is Sri John Chowdhury. So he's either Indian or Pakistani or Portland. He's a Portland-based artist.
A what base?
Highly stylized technique and uncanny realism, prismatic compositions.
Yeah,
I think it's painting. It's just all painted.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what you were saying, Mark, is that this is obviously a story unfolding, that this is an experience.
I think it has the elements of, you're going to, as you're going to see more of this as we continue.
Mm.
But
Yeah, it's on the website. It's a very huge. It's nice. Yeah, yeah. Tapestry.
I like it.
It's tapestry. It's called tapestry.
Oh,
tapestry.
it does
Really?
look like a tapestry. Doesn't it also look like a mandala a little bit? I don't know, that top image I don't know, there's something that reminds me of a mandala.
The top there.
It reminds me of a tapestry on the bottom with the green and the flowers, and then
Ah,
on the
Mhm.
top. And,
He's a Portland-based artist, it says here.
oh, okay.
And his
But-
thing is oscillating between a highly stylized technique and uncanny realism. Yeah.
Hmm.
Dreamscapes. Yeah.
Good painter though.
Also
Well,
I have more paintings. Should I share the screen for a moment?
Yeah, why don't you? And then,
Can I do that? Yeah.
yes,
Okay. Even okay, let me see. Because it's quite interesting when you see a couple of more. Let me see. I will do that. Portion of the screen. I hope it works. You see that?
oh gosh.
Mhm.
You
Oh
see?
my.
That's him. That's his name.
Ah,
And here you see actually quite nice detail. You see, it's everything is
Yeah, yeah.
painted. Yeah,
oh,
it's
look at that.
crazy,
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
But it's
Oh.
very interesting. You see,
Hmm. Hmm.
and so
Say the size of that one with the flowers? Is there a size for that one?
here
It's
is no size.
72 inches. It's 72 inches. It's
Okay.
big. It's big.
Yeah, this one you see this giving birth here. I'm not giving birth to in it.
It's 72 by 60 inches.
Yeah.
No, 24 to 36 inches. Yeah.
No, the other one. The other one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you see, and then when you look at this, I mean, where is
Ah,
this is also,
You mean that's just a detail above?
I don't know. It
no, I
doesn't
think it's another painting,
know.
isn't
This
it?
is another painting. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
It's
okay.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here is this
Oh
piece.
my
then.
gosh. Ah,
Wow,
Yeah, this is 72 by 60. Yeah, this is
yeah, it's good.
crazy. But it's intriguing. Yeah, it's very.
huh.
That's him here. Do you see him?
Yeah.
In his studio in Portland.
Wow.
Suzanne.
A lot of work.
Bangladesh.
Crazy artist.
Huh.
Too much work for me.
To do that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
always glad if somebody does it. Yeah, it's easy. I will go crazy.
Yeah.
But you know also what to do once you have the idea of the image, and then you just can go on until it's finished,
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
nice.
Hmm.
I wonder what Anna thinks of him doing that.
Yeah.
Look here,
It's strange that, okay, these are, okay, 22, 24. I'm looking at the dates. Because this tapestry one, the first one that we looked at, is
Yeah.
so different than
Yeah.
the others that are,
Mhm.
again, kind of landscapes. Like this is really has a much more of a decorative,
Yeah.
kind of traditional.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
I don't know. I saw it as almost like an Indian miniature
yes,
originally.
right,
That's
right.
how I sort of saw it, that it was
I like
highly
it.
decorative,
Very
but very contemporary.
Mhm.
But the other ones exist in a kind of a naturalistic space. They're landscapes, and they're quite different than this one.
Yeah.
So I was surprised to see those other works.
Mm.
And even in terms of subject, the
Yeah.
subjects really have a kind of are
Oh, well,
are more upfront, the subject, you
Well,
know,
what's nice about this one to me is that, you know, the other ones, while the skill is insane,
Yeah.
of a hyperrealism, this one that we're looking at, it's, you know, he still has that skill in there, but to me,
Yeah.
it's way more interesting and has so much beauty to it. You know, the others for me are way more, you know, they go in the direction of illustration almost, you know.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Which
this one I don't find as,
amazing
yeah.
talent, but it's not as interesting, you
No,
know?
the naturalistic space, you know,
Yeah,
the actual you know, depiction of space in this you know, illusionistic space is just not as interesting.
right.
Mhm.
I mean, the skill is insane, but it's not
Yeah,
as,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I mean, I agree, sort of, but I mean, I find it, you know, just this waterfall and it's man, it's
No, it's crazy.
it's weird, you know,
but
it's
I
so
think,
Very
weird.
weird.
Yeah.
I think it's actually almost, it really is not though totally to me how you would see this. And, you know, this is not,
Yeah.
you know, this is more like,
Hmm.
breaking down, you know, is detail, like a breaking down and a hypervigilance and an
Hmm.
almost making it, it really does not look as real as it looks. It to
No,
me
no, no. No, it's
doesn't
not.
look real, you know. Yeah,
Well,
Oh.
it's not photorealistic.
Right.
No.
True.
No.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
you know, this jacket here, you see that?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that.
You know, you feel it is invented, you know, it's not from
right,
a photograph.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
knows how, I mean, he studied all these things, how to paint things, you know.
Yeah.
But then he invents that because this is so weird. This is
Yeah.
surreal in a
That's
way.
exactly what I was looking at, Hans.
That's surreal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it,
Well, even the rocks as well, the rocks, the cliffs
Yeah.
behind
Yeah.
him, he's
Yeah.
just making it up in a way,
Yeah.
which, you know,
Exactly.
is okay. I like that in a way.
Yeah.
you know?
That's the weird thing, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that also. But I don't like the way it's mixed with actual naturalism. That
I don't
bothers.
either.
I would rather it were all invented.
I think
agree.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
looks all invented to me.
Let's see another
Well,
one,
I
huh?
mean, but
Yeah, yeah,
like the portrait, for example, is not all invented.
Like this one is just, there's something, I hate to say it, but there's something awful about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
You know,
Philip
the eye
Goldstein
is,
on steroids.
Yeah, right.
you know, and then this
And
very,
I think because it looks like he's making up the skin, it's not real, you know.
it's
Right.
not real,
So, you
but
know,
then he's
it's
making this
like-
very strange, you know, connection between this little corner of the eye and the woman that's giving birth, you know, as if that's her, you know, some
Like there's another vagina. here.
comically, and there's some an
Oh, it is.
anatomical rhyme
Yeah.
there,
Oh,
which,
yeah.
come on, I mean,
Right. right.
no, it's odd.
That's not what the
But there is something.
not what the corner of your eye. I don't think it has a hole like that in it.
No, was that the tear duct wouldn't be there,
No.
you know,
Yeah.
it's just, it's
Oh,
strange,
it really
know?
is
Yeah,
gross,
but
isn't
it's
it?
like, right.
yeah,
Oh,
something
it's
very
scary. This
unpleasant
one's-
about
oh,
it.
that one's unpleasant, I think.
Yeah,
But look here again, this whole,
Right.
Yeah.
you know, it's so
Look at
weird.
that.
So,
it's
but
weird,
But
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
very,
he's they got our attention.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, this is a lot of skill, even though it's, you know,
Yeah.
manufactured and over
Yeah.
like pushed. It's just so pushed.
But then I
like
think no,
grass.
it's not, you don't, you know, this man is lying here on the ground, but he's floating basically.
Right.
you know.
Right.
right, right.
He's not on the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
The ground is
So I like that.
Well, it's almost as if the figure were placed into the background.
Right.
It almost
Yeah.
has the effect of having been
Yeah. Yes.
Mm.
layered in there.
Mm. I love that background though.
Yeah, the background is good.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But again,
Especially the back is really pretty.
The fence, you know, it's not that clear, you know, it's not that abstract. It's really done like each thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so funny how somebody can be so talented, but you really need a lot of elements to work at one time for it to be a great painting.
Bye.
Mm.
It's interesting. I don't like this one either.
oh,
Oh gosh, yeah.
That's
Oof.
yeah.
I think they picked the best painting of his for the
yeah.
cover.
Oh, I like the idea of this. I like the frame with the flowers and then the picture in the middle, but I don't like how the middle's painted.
Yeah, there's some like
You
weird
know,
skin.
I think
Mm.
that because we have sort of moved away from this idea that Leslie mentioned, which is and Hans, about a more of an intuitive approach to art. It has become sort of idea based or narrative or whatever, and starts with an idea or a concept, and therefore the actual painting itself never loosens up enough to become an intuitive process where you're finding out how the materials work and what they can do and how you can create space, or not. And somehow, it's like there's such an emphasis on just making this painting and getting the idea on the surface. You know what I mean? That a lot is overlooked, I think. And it
Because I
becomes
think
very insistent. There's a certain insistence to this, and an air, it just doesn't allow you to enter it in some way.
like I think it's almost like I don't know if this is right or not, but it's almost like when you work intuitively, you're working from the inside out of the
Mhm.
expression, and
Right.
this way you're almost working like you're looking at something outside, planning
Yeah.
and working,
Yeah.
and it's a
That's
whole.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I agree.
I
There's
think
a
that's
very big
yeah.
distance to the subject in these.
If I could, I would now turn this just 90 degrees to the left.
Yeah.
That would really upside down, and then maybe would be an interesting. I don't think it's an interesting painting, right?
No,
No,
I liked how they
And,
did the
not
skin.
at all.
and
No.
I think maybe this is a way when he's not happy with one of his paintings, he makes
Oh.
this frame thing, like each artist has a trick to save a painting.
What's your trick, Hans?
I
Yeah.
don't tell you. I don't.
It's a secret. It's a secret.
A secret.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, this is.
Oh God.
But
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
this is amazing. It's like.
It is. But there's such a distance from the subject. As you were saying, there's no intuitive. It just is putting this awful experience at such a remove.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a weird painting.
yeah.
But I think it's weird because, well,
Look at the baby's head.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wild.
I mean, maybe
Mm.
Hans. I don't know. I think it's weird. The way that he paints the skin is weird.
Yeah.
It's like a tie-dyed kind of like,
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's very special,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but not everywhere. You see here, this
Yeah.
arm is
It's
basically
nice, right?
normal. I mean,
Yeah.
no, but here, this is,
Yeah.
this thing here, it's
I
like.
guess what I was trying to say before is that I think that you need to have a lot of decision making go right to have a good painting.
Mhm.
So, you know, and I don't know that it matters if you start from the inside out or the outside in.
It doesn't really matter. And
Maybe that
artists,
matters or maybe it doesn't, but I think when
artists have, you know, so many different approaches.
different approach,
Yeah.
but I think at the end, when you look at what you're doing, I
Yeah.
think you got to go back and say, what, you know, does
I
it feel?
see even a mistake here in the painting.
Where? What do you see?
This line here, I would not to put in this line here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
You
why
see,
is that there?
No, I think it's very nice here.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
really underneath.
you're
And I like
right.
this
Why is
line,
it there?
but
Yeah.
this line
You're
is this.
right.
That's not
Huh.
good line here.
Well, it keeps going. Keep going, Hans, all the way to the other
because, you
side
know,
of the painting.
Here
Other
it's
side of the
something,
painting.
you know,
Keep going.
that's
Keep
funny.
going.
What
Other
to-
side of the painting.
Like on the other side of the baby's head, it looks
Yeah.
like.
Here.
Why is that
Oh,
there?
yeah. Ah,
Yeah, it's maybe also not very good.
But the gentleman's head kind of looks normal. The
yeah.
Yeah,
Both
I
of those,
Yeah.
both figures on
Yeah.
the left look normalish, don't they?
Absolutely.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, normal is not necessarily good. It doesn't, you know what I mean?
Right.
It, in other words, he's allowed to,
Right.
Yeah.
you know,
anything he wants.
Right.
embellish or embroider or do whatever he wants, however he can.
Right, right.
So
Right.
I don't see as normal as necessarily being better. I'm just,
No, it's
sort
just
of an-
more representational without
yeah.
all of these embellishments.
But I like how he paints the water or the
Yeah.
effect of. That's not bad. As I
No.
think,
Right.
really,
Yeah.
it works. You know, he has a good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what's strange, Hans?
A good
He
approach.
paints, but what's strange is he's painting the water in a certain way. But look at the tub or wherever she is, the way yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
treated very. That doesn't make sense to
But
me.
same
What's
with
the point?
Yeah,
same
yeah.
with her,
I
same
don't
with
understand that.
same with her like right breast there and her neck.
Yeah.
It's like that's
Here.
Yeah.
now I don't
Yeah.
know if that's because she was supposed to be wet, but I
Right.
mean I understand what Marie's saying. The end result, it might not matter how you get there to look at the end result, but it's what you see in the painting more than the actual physical end
Mhm.
result. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
No, say that
so
different.
what I'm saying is your intention or the process might not decide whether a painting is pleasing or whether you think it's good or bad. It's more the interpretation of it or the feeling you get from it. It's not necessarily, it doesn't really affect, your skill level or your style or your, or how you or what the painting actually physically looks like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I like the red. I think the red,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the groin is really well done.
Very nice.
Well, I think the point is that, well, for me, this artist is very skillful. You can
Yeah.
tell that, I think to Leslie's point that he has a lot of tools in his bag. He knows how to paint. He's a beautiful painter. What I was trying to say was that his decision making on how he's painting, how he's bringing it together is, for me, doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm wondering if perhaps he's so ambivalent about this birth process, about having a child, that is what has taken over in the way he has worked the water, her skin, the baby.
Actually, is that him in the picture?
I think it is.
I just realized it's probably him in the
Yeah, I
picture.
think that he's the dad and she had a delivery at home in a
Mm,
bubble bath or whatever.
yeah.
No, and he's open for critique because you see that with this ear, that means open to critique.
I love it. I love it.
You didn't like that psychological interpretation, huh?
Well, I mean, like even
I
like
could tell.
When
Hans.
Hans was saying that he painted the material on the sleeves beautifully. Like you could see, maybe he went, to uh who's the Dutch painter that everybody loves?
Vermeer?
Yeah, like a Rembrandt, maybe like really studied Rembrandt for hours and figured out how to do the folds and everything. And he
No.
put that in. No?
Philip Perlstein on
Yeah,
steroids.
exactly. That's what I was thinking, actually, somehow.
Yes, yeah, it has. But you
Because,
see, what I also see, this is like a feather
Yeah.
Yeah,
in a way,
Yeah.
isn't it?
but why?
I don't know. Yeah, surrealism. It's surrealism.
Yeah,
No, I think
yeah.
he's using too many
It is.
things at one time. Well, it's too complex.
I think this is too
Let's
green
look at
here.
another one. Come on,
This
let's.
one is too green up here. This is
I
not.
agree.
I don't.
Okay. I think we need to move on.
We bashed him.
Yes,
So,
please.
Hans, give me
I think
back the
we had.
screen.
I think we had it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. We stop. You go on.
yeah, there we go. Okay,
But
so,
interesting.
Of course, if he came into the group, we would say it was very nice.
okay, so that's that. So here's another one by an artist named Ishi Ginsky.
Yeah.
Is she GIN?
In a way, for me anyway, looking at this relative to what we were just looking at, this somehow is a relief. This I can actually, my eyes at least, and therefore, a certain sensibility can, my own personal sensibility can actually get into, somehow I can wander through this. It's challenging. These oversized painted brush strokes I find pretty interesting. Just, the detail in this, even though it's, somehow simplified, into these forms and these shapes and this manner of painting, but yet there's a lot of, interest in it. The palette is very interesting, the way it works. I find this a pretty interesting painting. And it looks like that even the quality of the paint, if I were to see this, physically, if I were to stand in front of it, somehow this paint looks like there's more of what's the word? More of a sense of the actual material itself that would, that the actual paint, the quality of the paint, the thickness of the paint, etc., somehow is a little more satisfying on this one than the last one. I don't need to compare the two, but we just saw them back to back. So I'm just
This has
responding.
This has like printmaking qualities to it a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, it's graphic. It's definitely graphic,
Yeah.
but
Is it a print or a painting?
I like the
the
color.
painting. And I
Mm.
love this, whatever's going on in the background, this weird texture.
Yeah.
This is
For me, it is kind of Japanized Philip Guston.
Yes, Hans,
I
exactly.
don't see the Philip Guston at all.
Philip
No,
Guston. I see
no,
it just everywhere a little bit on top and
I don't see that, but I see the Japanization clearly,
yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
but I like it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do.
Me too. It has a comic thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
The comics.
Ah.
I think it's interesting, like Leslie said, it's very graphic. But for me, what I like about it is that it takes all the traditional Japanese colors.
Mm.
Kind of is like
The colors are amazing in this.
a beautiful.
Just gray.
Yeah.
The red and the fact that it all works,
And I feel like this is sort of like a very modern version of a Japanese chop kind of painting. And so I think it's interesting because it's so cultural too, right? Japanese. She must be Japanese.
Yeah,
Baginski.
I don't know. I'm trying to find it here. Here, let's see. Oh, wait. No, that's not it. Well, here it is. Okay. Let's see if I can find out a little more about this one.
Mhm.
So this one is it's a male, this Ishi. New paintings of indigenous baskets. Oh, interesting.
Mm.
So I don't really understand this, but
You know,
sorry.
it's
It-
a relief to know what the subject is for me.
This is strange. It says in his first solo exhibition with PPOW, Ishi Ginsky will present a series of new paintings of indigenous baskets, weavings, and pottery techniques, each a zoomed-in, oversized portrait of works by artists once known and his contemporary collaborators.
Hmm.
So I don't understand it. Through each piece,
So I see here in the
Glinsky evokes lived memory, metabolizing indigenous knowledge through references to Tohono O'odham basketry or Hohokam cultural objects. You know, I don't know.
Art
I don't know.
speak.
So I share the screen for a moment if you want. But his name is Glinsky and not Glinsky.
Glinsky.
Baginski.
Go ahead.
Yeah, hold on a moment. Yeah. You see,
Mm.
you know, you
Whoa.
see, he makes even this thing here. You know, that's
Oh,
a
look
Oh,
at
that's
that.
weird.
horror movie.
Yeah.
Ah,
No, so you
whoa.
see, it's interesting.
Oh
Wow.
gosh.
Sculptures. Yeah, makes sense when you see that, you know. So.
Wow.
This guy is good.
Yeah.
I like this work.
Mm.
Very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Oh,
What is the base made out of? Does it say? The black material?
I give him a heart.
you give him a what?
A like.
I like.
Oh,
You
I
gave
like.
him a
Thumbs
like.
up. Okay.
So go down, Hans, scroll down a little. Those other.
Yeah.
No,
Well, hold
not that. Not there.
No,
Yeah, there. So that
Look
piece.
at him.
How
Ah.
about the piece on the left?
I want to see how he looks like. I give him another like.
Ah.
Oh, yeah, that's where you gave him the 999th like.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, look at that.
he will follow me back. Look how nice. That's interesting work, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting. Very interesting work.
I
You see,
like
So
that's
this is
made out
beaded.
of- Right, exactly. You see.
How big are these?
Look at this.
That's-
Yeah,
Wow.
huge.
Wow, they're very big.
So
Hmm.
strange.
Art Basel, Miami Beach.
Mm.
Yeah, PPO Dallas.
Fiberglass pigment steel.
Yeah,
Oh, look at
What is
that.
it?
that's
Fiberglass
probably a detail.
pigment and steel.
Hmm. Wow.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I like it.
What show me this one?
What was on the
London freeze at the
Ooh.
freeze in London.
oh
Oh, I like this one on the left here.
Oh,
What?
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah. Oh,
I like that.
This is
look at
also,
that.
this is also good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So isn't
So-
that
so is
interesting
that.
to see that sculptures in Madison Garden, Square Garden? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's so interesting how differently he. I mean, this is so also about
Yeah.
indigenous and the blah blah blah, and it's
Yeah.
very interesting, but so completely another approach in a way.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Ah, yes, only.
Oh,
Oh, now more posts from. What is this?
mm.
Yeah, look at this. It's interesting. It's very
Hmm.
nicely done. That's in the Art Basel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Nice. Yeah, you see. Look at this.
Wow.
It's gravitational state on the oil paint, acrylic ink, oil stick, oil pastel, matte medium on canvas. You know, that's amazing.
Is this his Instagram?
That's his
So-
Instagram. Yeah, yeah. That's his thing.
And you found it
Mm.
just by going to Ishi Glinsky?
Yeah, through the internet here.
Oh,
There's
okay.
Actually, there's an article in Hyperallergic about him,
Yeah, I can imagine.
which shows a very close up of that one that I think the one you liked,
Let
Barbara.
me see if I
This one.
can go
Ah.
It
here.
doesn't, it says oil stick. It looks nothing like oil stick. I don't know how he's doing this. I don't understand it.
Me neither.
Mm.
He has
Is
11,000 followers.
Mhm.
I have 30.
Mm.
Wow, this one, this is really beautiful.
Yeah, that's amazing.
This one on the bottom.
Now, if you go on Hyperallergic, you'll see a close-up of one that's just, it's really-
Well, yeah. Okay. Which issue or and past issue?
Yeah, I don't see here.
See if you can go to Hyperallergic, Hans.
Yeah.
Hyperallergic.
Yeah, hold on.
It's actually an old article. It's May 4th, 2023.
Here, Glinsky, what does he do? Let me see.
Okay.
This
Oh.
hardest scale for native visibility. It's
That's
made,
great. Those figures are amazing, the way they're constructed.
yeah.
That with the paint, that kind of
Mhm.
they look like
Yeah.
old slippers or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See color.
You know, it's bizarre.
Yeah.
Really
Look
interesting.
at Tucson 82. So it's
Hmm.
basically the same age like the
Right.
other
Like-
one.
Yeah. Rose Simpson.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's very interesting.
Look
Let's see.
at-
Let's
That's
see that.
really
Yeah, let's
Isn't
see
it?
that.
Ah.
That's interesting. That's very, very
Oh.
Hmm.
interesting. Very
Detail.
unusual.
I think that's a detail of the one on Hyperallergic. It looks like a detail of it.
I don't think it is.
No,
No?
that's not the detail.
Oh, it's a painting.
120 inch or 60 inch.
Oh, okay.
That's a huge thing.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's good. Very good.
I like
Very,
this.
very strong. Very bold.
Mm.
Very consistent.
Yeah.
You know, he
Mm.
could sort of go between paintings and sculpture and this and that, and
Yes.
it all sort of holds
Yeah, yeah.
together.
You see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has something from a certain.
Oh, look at that.
That looks like what's her name?
Elizabeth Murray.
Yeah, Elizabeth Murray.
I
Very,
guess.
but
Yeah.
that's beautiful. That's a beautiful piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I see, Hans, scroll up again? I just want to see what it is, the materials. Resin, aluminum, pigment, industrial adhesives, wood.
Mhm.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Mm.
That's a beauty.
It is.
Mhm. I want to wear that as a pin.
Yeah.
Look at this one.
It's
Oh,
like
this
a
is
weave.
great.
It's like he's, the bottom, center, and right are
Oh,
either a weave coming apart or coming together. But there's like fibers being woven, or threads being woven
Mhm,
in some way, some stitch.
mhm.
That kind of had the spiritual content of, I'm thinking of a female artist who was in Guggenheim, very spiritual. Or Klimt.
That's great.
Oh, yeah.
It's really
I like
oh,
that.
you
Oh,
mean Hilma
Hilma.
af?
Yeah, Hilma Klimt, that has like that,
Oh, yes, those
yeah, different, yeah,
forms.
different coloring, but a very sense like the last one with the
that's the
baskets.
beginning again.
Iris.
Oh,
Yeah, I
really
think
good.
wonderful, huh?
Really good. Yeah.
Really great.
That's
Okay, let's
very-
go back here.
interesting work. Jeez.
So this was his, right? Amazing.
That's
Very
interesting
amazing.
because that doesn't look like a lot of the other work that we had seen from him. Did it?
No, I mean, yes, in a way.
Yeah, maybe the graphic,
In a
the,
way, yes.
yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. But I guess he has a lot of stuff. Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
by
lots of different
a
ways
guy.
of-
This is by Joe Houston or
Mhm.
Houston, whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
Oh.
And yeah,
Is it that we're looking at?
I think it's a painting. I think that's
Mm.
what it is.
nice.
I think it's pretty interesting and smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
The different, I think,
yeah,
I mean, the fact that it's a wall, we know that it's a wall. It's a stone wall, but it's that slight angle, but yet it has to do with flatness and flatness, the painting, but it's highly illusionistic at the same time. So there's all of these different incongruities that we sort of
Yeah.
have to consider.
right.
Mm.
And I think it's just very, very well done. I mean, it's like perfect. Like we were looking at the other painter, Chaudhary, and the way he invented, things. You could almost say that with this artist, but not. I mean, this is really much better, more well observed,
Yeah, it's a
somehow.
different thing.
Like it's more restrained. There might be some invention of the stones, but yet it feels like he's referring to the actual stone or a photograph of it. The different, even the greenery in the background, is somewhat invented, but yet I don't know. It's somehow more restrained and it's sober. It feels good.
I see some basil leaves almost.
You see some what?
Basil leaf, but probably I'm
Basil
wrong.
leaf? No. And the composition is nice with the one big square in the center, I'm off center, I should say, which sort of reiterates the square of the piece itself. It's a very thoughtful, well-designed, interesting piece
Right.
for me.
I don't like the color of the center square. I don't know. I don't know. I'm fighting it,
Okay.
but I think it's really well done.
Don't fight it.
Don't
Just
fight.
love it. All right, I love it,
Mhm.
but I think it's really well painted.
But I
So
think I think there is also some invention here. Not
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I love how the composition
Yeah.
really of the painting is the composition of the stones, of the stonework.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
I just-
there's that play, there's that, play with forms, the painting relative to the wall, like what's composing what here. So I like it. It's playful.
Yeah.
I like how subtle this thin line is in the perspective that goes back the other way. I like that. It's very
Who's
nicely.
the artist?
His name is Joe Houston. I don't know anything about
Oh,
I think PPOW is a pretty good gallery.
do you have anything else by him?
No,
Okay.
that's it. So these are just, it's just a survey of their artists. I just
Yeah.
got it in an email and I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Grace Carney. I mean, you could take any one of these people and Google them
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
see, like we
Sure.
did with Ishi
Yeah.
Blinsky.
Yeah.
exactly.
Like this is a nude.
Mm-hmm.
It took a long time to see the nude in here.
Really?
Well, on my phone, I see it much more
Uh-huh.
easily on my computer here. But it looked like an abstract painting with some figuration, but I couldn't
Yeah.
put the body together. Now I sort of can.
I see the belly, everything.
Yeah. I mean, this painting maybe is a little too beautiful, but I'm going to give it a pass because it really is well done.
Yeah, it
And the
was.
colors are really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's too beautiful. You know what I mean? But I don't mind that in this case for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I
Nice
think it's fascinating that you say it's too beautiful, because in a way
Well,
it's a little gory to me, although the colors are beautiful.
well, that's what I mean, the colors.
Yeah.
So when I say too beautiful, I mean by it's like if something is too sweet, like a dessert, it's like you can't get past the sugar,
Right. Oh.
Did Leslie leave us? I guess she did.
Oh,
Leslie, I just texted her if she's okay. I don't know. Maybe.
This is by Kyle Dunn. And there's another painting of his as well, which we will look at. And I think it's just very, very well done.
I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love this. That's the shadow, the straight line across his back.
yeah, that's nice.
Oh.
And I love the way his shoulder just,
Yeah, it looks like a mountain or something. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I've noticed that his other work, you'll see it, it's much more obvious, but they're very, what's the word, sort of erotic. And there's a lot of puns and play on, different elements in the painting as being also sexual, having some sexual resonance.
Mm.
And the other painting more than this, you'll see. But
Oh,
it's
it's really great the way he does the trapezius muscles there on the back. Look at that. That's really cool.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Palette is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just so beautifully painted.
Yeah. Wow.
But for me, certain things are too much.
Like what?
Yeah, this whole.
You mean this here?
Yeah, and also, but where the back is, I think that to take out this book and this whole.
This back thing?
Yeah.
I sort of like that.
No, I think I would like to have only the pillow and then this blue ray coming up.
Right.
Sometimes they do too much. It's actually great, but it's too much.
Yeah,
it's becoming so illustrational, and also this tree, in the back, the tree is also, it's so that's and it for me it not even works. I think this is just floating somehow. It's not right.
No, it's floating. It's not sitting on the pillow.
I think the body would be so beautiful with that
Right.
mountain of the shoulder, and that's already enough, you know.
Yeah,
But then,
yeah.
you know, everybody, oh, and this tree in the back, horrible, you know.
Yeah. Huh.
Of course, beautiful, but it's horrible, actually. It's, so- you know, what, you know, it's,
Right.
you could
Right,
do much stronger. Everything, you know, the pillows are very nicely painted. Everything is also
Yeah.
the blue, you know, the light is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh,
It almost looks like
This
egg
gray,
temper or
this
something.
beautiful
It's so,
color here, this gray is amazing.
yeah.
amazing.
Doesn't it almost look like egg tempera? It's so finely painted. Or
Let me see if I can find out what it is. Hold on.
it must be oil, but still is with such. Oh,
Hans, what do you mean about the tree? You think it shouldn't be like a winter tree? And
No, I mean, it's so obviously a beautification of you know, I mean, oh my God. It should be completely something else there. I don't know.
the tree.
A car, a parked car, maybe. Or,
uh,
no, really, you know, it's like this
Huh.
is like I don't.
huh.
This painting was acquired by the Dallas Museum of Art in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah,
Many of these works that we're looking at are in collections now through this gallery.
yeah. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great.
But just, you know, I mean,
So let's go right to his
I
other.
like, for instance, very much the hand, which a little bit shows there underneath. Is
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
that
Yeah.
that's nice, you know. I like there some, you know, this detail. I like that.
Mm.
Yeah,
No, it's great painted, you know. It's,
it is. So let's go. I'm gonna go to the to his other painting. They're not. Let's see.
Yeah, that's fine with the detail.
So this has tons of stuff because he can do it. you
Like
know?
stuff.
He likes to do it. He likes to paint and he can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Right.
this one, you know, to me, the sexual references are a little
Oh,
bit
yeah.
too much. You know, like,
Yeah.
you know, he's facing the back. You sort of see his buttocks. Then there's whatever this is.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure exactly what it is, but I know what it suggests. Then with
Yeah.
this thing, you know,
Oh, God.
so and they're all over the place. You find
Yeah.
them, so we know what
Yeah.
he's.
The foreground here. Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
Look at
it's
that
kind
pencil.
Yeah, it's I know what you mean. Yeah.
of.
Pencil or plant? I guess it's a plant on the
Yes.
right there. Oh,
But I like, you know, the lucidity of the canvas he puts there on the window. You see the light comes through.
Yeah, right.
I like these things, you know. Yes, a very
wow.
sense of temperature of the color
Yeah,
and the color dealing.
absolutely.
I like that, these reflections. And
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
but you definitely
that's-
look at this. You know, this is an apple where this is the vagina. There is another strange thing with a
Oh, is that an apple in there or
yeah,
something?
look, an
Look at it.
apple. Yeah.
Where?
It's an
Where's
apple.
an apple?
Oh, yeah, it's
yes.
an apple wrapped up in paper. That's what it is.
Yeah. But then
Oh my
further
gosh.
down there is something else wrapped in a paper. I don't know why he wraps all these things in paper. Can you go a little bit down? Yeah, you see, there is
Oh,
another
this one,
It
this
is
one.
wrapped.
this
Mm.
yeah, and then another one on the
Mm.
right. There
Oh,
are-
yeah, that's a persimmon. That's a persimmon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he likes to eat and
Well, it's fruit, you know. He likes
Yeah.
to make the reference between fruit and, you know, s-
but
and
I
fruit,
like this
and
golden.
fruit is, you know, think about it, what a fruit is. Fruit carries the
Right.
seed of the plant.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you see how meticulously he paints it is.
This is this
the
is an
golden
Asian
hand.
pear. This is an Asian
Yes.
pear.
Yeah.
Ah.
That's a persimmon, and this is an apple.
Right.
So what were you
Mm.
saying precisely what?
Yeah, here this folded piece of long paper he's screws together. That's wonderful.
It is, yeah.
Amazing.
So
What
is
is
this
that?
oil? Is this acrylic? What are we, what
This
is
is
it?
It doesn't say what it is.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
maybe his
no,
website
it doesn't
will,
say. It
okay,
doesn't say. There's nothing written about him. You'd
okay.
have to.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay, let's see if. Oh,
Pretty interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
But it's
so
also interesting that can you go to the books? He paints all books that we don't see the title of it.
where's
Oh.
where's
Yeah, the book in the back there is a whole pile of books.
all these
oh,
books.
yeah.
But they are all the white, where the page is not the back
No.
that we can't read the titles. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he's very young.
Is he?
Yeah. Yeah, they're showing pictures. Oh, he's at PPOW also.
Mm.
Well, these are all from PPOW.
They all are. Oh, okay.
It's a
Yeah.
good gallery.
He was born in 1990.
So he's
Well,
like
okay.
30.
Wow.
Amazing.
So he's 34.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
I think he's excellent with light too, Hans. I love how
That's
he,
amazing.
right?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, he has a sort of romanticized, thing, like I can't say the name of our hero painter, which
You'll
makes
think of it.
Who?
empty rooms and our
Vermeer?
no, not Vermeer, American.
What do we- I don't know what you're talking about.
I can't. My brain doesn't work right. But
Philip-
I like the
Philip-
piece on the wall, which is
Philip
Just
Pearlstein, are you thinking of? Philip
no,
Pearlstein?
no.
He's
No.
no. Some of these are acrylic, I see.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Then you can vote. Yeah, it's
Okay.
nice,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
This is Martin Wong.
Oh,
So-
yeah. Right.
Yeah, I've heard.
He was an East Village painter
He was very famous.
and just sort of did his own thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think he was Chinese American, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously his name.
Is he dead?
He's dead. He died a number of years ago.
Yeah.
This is Chinatown. You can look at the buildings.
Mhm.
Yeah.
See-
Canal Street.
Yeah.
You see your studio?
You see almost
Almost, yes.
perfect.
Look at that. Yeah.
Hey, Mark, I just texted Leslie and she said Zoom cut her off.
Whoa.
It's a little weird, right?
She can't reach
Why
on.
doesn't she just get back on with the invitation, the
Yeah.
invite?
I just asked her to. Yeah.
Mhm.
All she has to do is click the link and get back in. Anyway, I think it's a pretty good painting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Me too.
I
Yeah.
love the kids in the airplane, the DC-3 with the prop plane, which was, when he was a kid.
Yeah.
And they all look like, they're Lower East Side kids, Asian, Black, and so on.
Mm.
And it's a great composition.
Isn't it?
Yeah. With the blue.
To me, this is so much
sky.
more interesting than the other work we've been looking at. Do we have any more Martin Wong or no?
No, I don't.
Just
This
the
is just
one.
all of it. But you can find
Yeah.
you
Oh,
can find it on
absolutely.
the
Yeah.
internet.
Sure.
Yeah. It's a nice piece though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? Sorry, what's interesting about that piece is that it kind of reminds me of how they would a traditional Japanese composition.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look
Mhm.
too hard at, the buildings, but it's just like that landscape that moves your eye up. And it's the same colors, those greens,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Mm.
also what's nice about this is the flattening. So not only the perspective,
Mm.
but the whole feel of this piece is flattened. It's,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm.
there's, even though there's some suggestion of space,
Mm.
and illusion, it's essentially a flat piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has a graphic element, in other words, with the circles, at a diagonal. And then they, linear, the more rectilinear and,
Yeah.
happening around the plane. So I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It works. All the
Absolutely.
elements. It's fun.
Absolutely.
It's so interesting. Can you paint everything that we looked at today was fascinating because it was like you could tell what their culture, they're incorporating their backgrounds, their
Yeah.
history.
Yeah.
And that's what you were saying
Mm.
in the
Yeah.
beginning of the session.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That was the point.
Yeah.
That the content has become
Mm.
biographical, autobiographical,
Yeah.
Well,
personal,
Yeah.
nationalistic, ethnic, cultural. And that's the content. That's the content of painting now.
Yeah.
but I think Hans always does that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Who knows? But this is
You paint your yourself in your paintings.
Yeah.
You personalize your paintings so they're super interesting.
Totally. So I just included these, not because I necessarily love these. It's just sort of not my thing, really. But the reason why I included them is there's three of these, actually.
Mm. Mm.
And I thought it was interesting, again, for exactly the reasons that we've just been discussing. It's very personal, comes from, cultural, traditional practices. But I thought it was interesting because, like, all of these pieces are in museum collections, right?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's why I thought it was interesting, because that's what museums are buying, are interested in,
Yeah.
right? And I thought, so this
Wow.
one is in the Des Moines Art Center. It was
Wow.
developed by the Des Moines Art Center in Des Moines.
Mm.
And then there's another one. Let me see,
Mm.
which we'll see. Oh, wait. Sorry.
Mm.
Oh, here it is, which is in the Hammer Museum in Los Angeles. And then the third one is in the ICA Boston. I guess that's the Contemporary Art, the Institute of Contemporary Art in Boston. So all three of these pieces, this is one. Let's see the others. Hold on.
Mm.
This is the another. This is the one that's in Boston.
Mhm.
This
And
must be made in the present day, right?
these were this was made in 2023.
Mhm.
So I just thought that was interesting. And
Yeah, of
this
course.
one, there's one more.
Mm.
They're here. That one's in the Los Angeles, the Hammer Museum in Los Angeles. So, it's funny, right? I mean, I don't think
Mm.
they're particularly, I mean, we've seen this kind of work before, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
These
it's
type of
interesting.
things. In other words, we've seen them a lot, yeah, along the way. But it's
Yeah.
interesting that these were all bought by museums,
Yeah.
and they're in museum collection. So it just tells you,
Mm.
uh, you know, where this is going.
Yes, you don't have to say anymore. We got it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not
Oh,
it is what it is.
it
People
is
do,
what it is.
they,
Right.
It doesn't seem like it has much either artistic or cultural relevance.
I don't know. The artist's name is Guadalupe Maravilla. Guadalupe Maravilla.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She's obviously a Latin woman.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know where she's from. Could be Mexico, or maybe she's American of Mexican or
Yeah, people
Latina
do.
descent,
Yeah.
Hispanic descent, I should say.
Mm.
Anyway, so that's that.
Right.
Thought that was interesting.
So I
Uh,
have something to share too.
okay, I think
Just
I'm done.
a short thing. There is a show at Frost and Co. Out of the Blue, and I mean, I was invited there. If I would be the curator, I would have invited you, Mark.
Oh, thank you.
It's called Out of the Blue.
Oh yeah, right. Come on. I should be in that show.
And then,
Oh.
yeah, hold on a second.
Oh. What gallery is that?
Hans's gallery.
Yeah, it's not really my gallery,
Well, you know what I mean.
but there is an article about it, this group show. Have you
Oh,
ever heard of the two coats of paint?
yeah, sure. Sure.
I've never heard of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's been around for a while.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So, it's like, you see,
Oh.
Judy Simonian is also in there,
Oh,
which we have,
Oh.
Barbara Friedman.
oh, look at that. That looks like something I would do.
Yeah, look at that.
Jeez.
You do it better.
No, I like that actually.
I
Mm.
can make it.
Thank you. But I think that's nice.
Make it bigger. It's a small gallery, it's like I say always it's the hose gallery. It's like a Schlauch, like a
That's
hose.
Judy Simonian, yeah.
This
I
is
like
Judy
it.
Simonian,
I like hers.
this one,
Yeah.
Walking on Water. Then this is Vicky Shear.
I like that too.
Yeah,
Vicky
Okay.
Shear.
It's okay.
this is Barbara Friedman. She was also one time presenting her work here in our group. Do you remember?
I do.
She was,
Yes, absolutely.
Mm.
Oh, Barbara Friedman.
she makes this crazy
Oh,
thing, and then
I have a friend who knows her.
really.
Yeah, she has a sister there, and she was trying to set up her sister with my friend.
Mhm. Oh, really?
And yeah, I just
Getting
remembered that, where I had heard her name recently.
Mhm, mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Then here, Jerry Kearns with acrylic.
Well, the blue thing out of the blue is a little bit of a catch-all because,
No, I know.
yeah,
It's
doesn't
like right. It's not-
just because he's wearing a blue hat, give me a break. Come on.
Yeah,
That doesn't make it a blue
exactly.
painting.
I don't. It's like That's, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's okay.
Right.
Ah, that's
Yeah,
interesting. Look at that.
I'm not too crazy about a number of these paintings.
Yeah, me
I
neither.
mean, right?
Me neither.
Yeah. Oh,
I
that.
like this one. It's the winner. Winner, winner.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the best one.
Yeah, no, look, here comes even, she invited Bruno.
Oh,
today.
Bruno.
Bruno. Oh,
Look,
Sound of Bread.
the
Yes.
sound of.
Pump the cyber presence, daily movements. Okay.
Ah,
That I like.
yeah.
I like that. I
do
like
too.
the Yannick Wagner. That's not too bad.
Oh, yeah.
that's not,
Yeah, I like that.
A nice painting.
Very
Mm.
nice.
yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. How big is that? 24 by 30. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Can you make that bigger or no?
No, I can't, and and nothing happens if I,
I
You
like
can-
that.
You
Yeah.
can move it out with your fingers.
right.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Oh, I like that too.
Well,
Yeah.
I think your work's the best, Hans. Let's see it again.
I don't, no, yeah,
Yeah, I love it.
There you go.
that's nice, but
Nice.
Yeah.
What did they say about it?
not much. Let me see. You and then you see the cursing
Horsing.
bigot, French blue. That's the only. But you can click on each thing, and here that's actually good. If you click here on my name, you get to the Bomb
Oh.
magazine article.
Oh,
That's,
nice.
Oh,
that's actually good. So
That's
you can really read. You know what I'm.
yeah, that's awesome.
oh, oh boy.
That was nice. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
another thing.
That's
So
Oh.
that's actually the good thing.
yeah, that's awesome. Good luck. Thanks
That's
for showing
nice.
us that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm gonna let's sign off.
Yes.
I'll sign off of the YouTube. So, and then we'll say goodbye. But
Please
thank
say.
you for joining our conversation and our little tour through some galleries and paintings and what's going on in the art world today. So I'm going to sign off. Thank you all
Yes.
for.
Bye, everyone. See you next